Here now, Lara Logan, host Lara Logan Has No Agenda on Fox Nation. Lara, the situation at the airport just getting worse, mass chaos, confusion. You've got some sources on the ground there, families that are desperate to get out of there. What are you hearing?
Well, Jesse, I was on the phone pretty much all through the night last night with many families on the ground, a number of them who worked with me at 60 Minutes for 20 years. And that's why I'm helping them get out, because they've been threatened and they're targets. And it was really the most, it was one of the most distressing things I've ever experienced, because when the bombs went off, they were telling me that kids are screaming. Most of the pictures that you've seen across social media today of all the people who are lying dead and the wounded, those were taken by the brother of our 60 Minutes Afghan producer. And, for Joe Biden to stand up there on the day that all of these Afghans have been killed, and to pretend that this is some kind of tragedy and he cares about the death of American soldiers. If you cared about it, why did you do it? Why did you create this situation? And why aren't you doing anything to change it? Going to the Taliban and asking them, can we stop pretending now that the Taliban are not terrorists? Can we stop pretending that the Haqqani network is not the number 2? The leader of the Haqqani network, the Afghan al-Qaeda, is the deputy commander of the Taliban. So let's stop pretending that the Taliban are not ISIS. What the Afghans will tell you, the acting president now, Amrullah Saleh, who's an old friend of mine, I've interviewed him many times on 60 Minutes, he said to me, when we interrogate these people, when we get them on the battlefield, you know what we find out? Today they're ISIS, 2 weeks ago they were Taliban, and 2 years ago they were Al-Qaeda or something like that. So they're not fooling anybody, except, unfortunately,
they're fooling us.
The Americans who
they're
don't know
fooling
any
Joe
better.
Biden.
Yes.
It's a slippery group of tribesmen and cells and terror networks that change their appearance, they change their name, they change sides constantly. They're all corrupt. And the fact that Joe didn't see the Afghan army collapsing like this, who is he kidding me? I've never been over there. You go online, you look at a video. Have you ever seen the jumping jacks these guys were doing? They did frontline reporting. These guys couldn't even tell time. They were all smoking dope. They didn't do it. They couldn't put their helmet on straight. And you expected them to hold the Taliban advance? It's no wonder they got bribed and they went back to the fields.
No, you know what, Jesse? I have to tell you a couple of things. First of all, it didn't collapse in 11 days.
No, it collapsed in 4 months.
There was a lot of strategic territory. Right. Right. And also, don't forget, the Afghan commandos, their special forces, that has been the backbone of the U.S. effort in Afghanistan. They have borne the brunt of most of the operational tempo. These guys are, they are among the best of the very best with any military in the world. You don't see much from them, but sometimes they're indistinguishable from Americans when you do see them on the battlefield, because they've done thousands of operations. But these are highly specialized forces that rely on mobility. So when you take away the Air Force, when you take away the air support, what do? You could have a group of Delta operators, and if they're outnumbered and they're out of ammo and they're surrounded by their enemy, you know what's going to happen? The same thing that happened to many of these guys, and they were executed when they surrendered. But you know what happened to thousands more of them, Jesse? They fought their way from Kandahar in the south and across the mountains to the Panjshir Valley, where they went with their equipment. Some of them died along the way, and they are fighting still now today. So when the President of the United States says that, he is lying, and he is literally taking the blood of our Afghan allies. Do you know what's happening on the ground now, Jesse? Do you know that Americans, decent, good Americans who served alongside these people, have said, we will not be part of this betrayal that is drenched in the blood of Afghans and now in the blood of U.S. Marines as well? And they're going out on their own. This government is lying about everything. I know people in the evacuations today who said that there's not even close to the 7,000 number that they said went out, that is absolutely false, that they didn't have the equipment in place for that. There weren't even a number of people allowed in. We all know, all of us who are up all night, that's why my voice is crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
We all know that they've been turning away U.S. citizens. Yep. Do you know that there are American children born in this country whose parents are not being allowed to get on planes with them because they're green card holders?
And they can't hide it, because we've seen inside of planes taking off, there's like 5 guys in there. Plane's empty. And I don't want to hear any more numbers and how successful this airlift is. It's a scramble to the gates to get out because you booted it. Everybody can see it. You don't pull air support, ground support before you pull out. I mean, I'm not Patton, but anybody knows that. Lara, I got to run. Thank you so much for your reportage. It's excellent. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.